Well, we're breaking convention by having two people speak at once, and we're grateful to TEDxNOLA for allowing us to break convention, because what we're going to talk about is really breaking convention, but driven by something very important. Before the end of the speech, I'm going to tell you the secret to saving the world. It's hold your breath. In all seriousness, this is a story about two people who were unconnected before the storm, brought together by tragedy, and bonded by love of this great city, love of our nation, and love of the earth. And make sure this thing's not falling off. And so this story is continued. This journey was forged by this tragedy of the image that you see, that we all see, and we don't really want to spend a lot of time with these images anymore, but it was this image, watching on CNN, that drove me to get out of what I was doing and realize that I needed to reclaim my role as a true citizen. I was running an environmental group based in Santa Monica, doing some great work, of course, but I felt great shame that was brought on by this tragedy and their failure of government at every level, and said, all right, what could I do? I could help the city in some way. We have green building expertise as an organization. Can we mobilize that to help rebuild this city, to be the first true green city in the United States, and help be part of solving global warming to prevent sea level rise from consuming not just this amazing place, but so many coastal areas around the world, and destroying the lives of poor, rich, and everyone in between around the globe, and destroying trillions of dollars worth of our economy. So I put together a plan and decided to move forward, and my staff, some of them thought I was crazy and tried to talk me out of it, and my wife said, how can you help rebuild a city? You can't even fix up your house. So I didn't know where the money would come from, I didn't know where the help would come from, but moved forward and was met by incredible support, certainly with some detractors who says, oh, it's too soon, you can't go there, or from a national foundation who said, well, if they didn't invite you, you can't go down there without them asking you to come. And that kind of resistance just emboldened me more, that we were on the right path, that we could make a difference, that we could help this city with a set of experience and ideas and offer to help. And yesterday we released something that Beth will share with you in a second. We've made progress on all these fronts. But what's really made our success possible with Green Schools and the Holy Cross project we're building in the Lower Ninth, and the work we're doing across the city to help so many, and all the great work of so many other organizations. That work has been made possible by amazing people. There's some examples of our work, but it's our Holy Cross project. But that work's been made possible by people like Pam DeShiel, who passed away, sadly, last December. Who was a true giant, who loved her neighborhood, who loved the city, who loved the environment. And it was her vision that helped the Holy Cross neighborhood realize that they could be the first climate-neutral neighborhood in the United States of America. And we're working with them, and it's people like Pam that have moved us forward. And it's people like Beth that are going to help us continue, and she's going to share with us some thoughts now.
Thank you, Matt. So it's 4 months after Hurricane Katrina. My husband and I had been back in the city for a few months. Frankly, we were just kind of hustling to pay the bills. And I know a lot of folks that stayed in the city or came back quickly had the same experience. So much unemployment, so much loss, businesses, jobs. And I practiced law for 15 years, doing mostly social and environmental justice. And it's 4 months later, and I'm trying to figure out, what can I do, with my skill set, with my ability, what can I do to help save New Orleans? And this conversation was going on with all of our friends, and we were kind of just trying to find a place to settle. And 4 months after Katrina in December, I sat down with Matt, and he brought to New Orleans this vision of a sustainable city. And it was kind of an aha moment for me. Totally got that. And let's face it, all of us that were in the city or evacuated had that same experience, that near-death experience, which had an incredible impact on us of just kind of blowing the charts and blowing any illusions away that we had that New Orleans could just keep doing what it had been doing and ever come back, or heaven forbid, or in our dreams come back stronger. So since that day, we've been working with thousands and now tens of thousands with other New Orleanians and people that have moved here from all over the country and, in fact, the world, and dozens of nonprofits and philanthropic groups, hundreds of thousands of volunteers to restore New Orleans sustainably. And honestly, if you've been paying attention, and if you didn't realize this already, New Orleans is now rapidly becoming a model for not just the United States, but for the world in how to rebuild a resilient coastal city. We have more LEED Platinum houses in the lower Ninth Ward than any other neighborhood in the country. We have a more generous solar and wind tax credit in Louisiana than any other state in the country. We have tens of thousands of units being built all over the city to high green standards. So the dream that every New Orleanian should be able to live in a house where the utility bill never goes over $100, where they have healthy air quality, and where they can actually spend their money on the things that matter, the way of life in New Orleans, as James Carville referred to it earlier. That is what it takes to make this city resilient. Moving into policy work, the citizens really did lead up until this point, but now government is getting on board and getting on board in a big way. The Recovery School District has committed to all new and major new schools being green, and of course, our new mayor absolutely gets this and understands that it is essential for the future of the city that we rebuild green. We have to be mindful, though, that for all of the incredible sustainable work going on in the city, and in fact, every speaker that we've had today and will have for the rest of the day talking about the incredible entrepreneurial spirit and vision of rebuilding New Orleans, the elephant in the room that we have got to acknowledge is that if we don't get our coastal wetlands loss under control, all of this is going to be for naught. It is the elephant in the room, and it is terrible to have to acknowledge, but as Robbie Ventrano mentioned, it's the question that we've got to face, and it's the answer that we, as an empowered New Orleans, are going to have to take responsibility for in the weeks, months, and years to come. And guess what? We are up to the challenge. We would not be here with this incredible success that we have today if we were not up to this challenge. We know what it takes to save New Orleans. And so, wanted to show you this map, the greening of New Orleans. This is just the beginning of this explosion of green building around the city. And it is, in fact, just the beginning. So I'm a New Orleanian, Matt's a New Orleanian, you're a New Orleanian. Anybody watching this knows what it means to be a New Orleanian, and that is that we can save ourselves. So Matt, in fact, has the secret to success now.
Yes, and so in 7 seconds, I'm going to tell you the secret to saving the world. But first, you need to stand up. Please, everyone, if you stand up. All right. Raise your right hand. You're all pledging. I'm going to tell you what to say, but you're all pledging to be social innovators, environmental leaders, and create the green renaissance right here in New Orleans and help the world save itself. Repeat after me. Let's go, Saints! Oh, sorry, wrong. Let's start over. Ready? Repeat after me. I love my home. Now turn to the person next to you and give him a big hug. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the secret to saving the world. That's enough hugging back there, please. That's enough over there. It's a little too much. We got to love ourselves, love our home, and love each other as family if we're going to turn this around. So thank you very much.